In this video, we'll go through the full declaration that KG previously shared on her Instagram to let the public see her side of the story. As of now, we don't have JYP's side, and the company hasn't made any public statements regarding this case in quite some time. So, let's dive into it. KG begins her statement by saying, "I am a minor aged 17 years old. I am the respondent in the above captioned matter. In January 2023, when I entered into an employment agreement with JYP, I was 15 years old. At that time, I relied on my parents and the adults around me and did not fully understand the employment agreement I was signing." KG continues by stating that JYP hired an attorney, Debbie White of Low and Low, to represent her regarding the employment agreement. However, she explains that she had no meaningful interactions with this attorney and was generally unaware of the contract's terms. She also claims she wasn't given a real opportunity to consent to those terms. During the time Debbie White was supposedly representing her, KG says she was in Korea, working under an exhausting schedule. She recalls instances where she was forced to sign contracts after being given only a few minutes to review them, including documents written in Korean. If what KG is saying is true, it really challenges the argument from people who say, "Oh, but she signed the contract." Because if these kinds of tactics are being used on minors, especially children as young as 15, then of course they may not understand what they're agreeing to. This also raises valid concerns about parental presence. Was her mother with her while she was in Korea? KG admits she didn't fully grasp that a legal case was even happening. She had a vague idea that the court was supposed to approve the contract, and she knew her parents had a Zoom meeting, but she never attended it herself because she was too busy practicing dot. As a result, she never spoke to the attorney before signing the contract. When the contract was being approved, she didn't fully understand what the meeting with her parents was about. KG says she initially thought the Zoom meeting was just about house staff and going over rules. Her first actual interaction with Debbie White didn't happen until after she had left the VCHA house and quit JYP. Around May 18, 2024, after deciding to leave, she left a voicemail for Debbie asking to set up a meeting once she returned home at the end of May. After leaving the VCHA house, KG finally had her first conversation with Debbie to see if she could help her get out of the contract. Debbie spoke briefly with KG and her mother, but after that call, KG says she completely ghosted them. According to KG, they never heard from Debbie again, and it became clear that Debbie didn't want to help and was not truly acting as her attorney. To be honest, KG adds that this kind of behavior isn't uncommon. Many entertainment companies tend to hire attorneys who ultimately serve the company's interests rather than those of the artists. It's safer for the company that way. She then shifts to describe the physical toll the training took on her. In mid-September 2023, while she was training in South Korea, several members of VCHA, including KG herself, sustained injuries. One teammate reportedly hurt her hip and back, another sprained her ankle, and KG says she tore a tendon in her shoulder. Her injury occurred on September 14th, when, according to KG, the dance teacher, referred to as BM and believed to be Bom and Lee, forced her to repeat a single move hundreds of times without any rest. KG explains that this was the same incident she described in her formal complaint, where she was even denied water during training. She says it's no surprise she ended up injured under those conditions. Although she was in severe pain, she wasn't taken for medical care until September 16th. 2 days after the injury occurred, she went to a local medical center along with her two injured teammates, and all of them received injections. However, KG notes that she still doesn't know what substance she was injected with. She also mentions that attached as Exhibit A is a true and correct copy of a photograph taken on September 16, 2023, showing her and another member of VCHA at the hospital where they were treated. Out of respect for the other members' privacy, KG says she redacted part of the hospital image using red overlays. She also includes receipts dated September 16, 2023, for her hospital visit regarding the shoulder injury, which are attached as Exhibits B, C, and D. Additionally, she has attached a photograph of the injection site in her shoulder, labeled as Exhibit E. Despite still being injured, KG claims that JYP forced her to continue dancing at their headquarters. She says she has a video file showing the intense training she was made to participate in on September 18, 2023. Just 2 days after the injury. Attached as exhibit photos, what she describes as a true and correct copy of a screenshot taken from that video, showing the date and her being made to use her injured shoulder. She mentions that she added a red line circling the date on the screenshot to emphasize that she was forced to rehearse when she should have been resting. KG recounts that on September 26, 2023, one of her groupmates snapped a photo of her literally sleeping on the dance floor just minutes before their morning lesson. She explains that she was so exhausted from the lack of sleep and constant training that she couldn't even stay upright. Later, in November 2023, she also injured her leg. Despite receiving multiple injections and other treatments, she was still denied any meaningful break. Attached as Exhibit H is an image showing the multiple injection sites on her leg. KG states that a doctor warned her that her muscles were damaged from overuse and explicitly instructed her to stop dancing and rest. However, JYP staff allegedly insisted that she continue. When she asked if she could at least take it easy, she was told to perform at full intensity regardless. This statement from KG paints a deeply troubling picture of what she claims to have endured during her time with JYP. While we've only heard her side so far, her words raise serious questions about how young trainees are treated in the industry. As of now, JYP has not responded publicly to these allegations. We'll continue to follow this story and provide updates as they come. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Do you think more protections are needed for minors in entertainment? Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more updates.
Yeah.